Alright, so next we are going to be talking about the basic plot commands and other information that you'll need to know about them.
So, as we talked about before, plots are a 16 by 16 chunk of land lined up on a grid.
You can see
When
the
you
box here on
purchase a
this,
plot,
here the cobblestone is the 16 by 16. Alright, go ahead.
yes, and when you purchase a plot, you'll own the entire area in the 16 by 16. If you own a plot, or rather, if you're buying a plot in a new area, the plot will cost you 3,000. If you're buying a plot next to a plot you already own, it's 2,000. That's just to encourage people to buy larger plots of land and not buy random plots in different locations.
So here you see I own this plot here that I'm currently standing on. It says owner max spell. Then here I do not. So if I do the plot buy command, so plot purchase, and then if you're buying a new plot, you'll have to, like in another area, you'll have to say yes. There's a prompt to tell you that if you don't catch it the first time, but if not, you just say plot purchase, and then it'll buy the plot for $2,000, which is what I had. And you'll see the torch barriers that will be there for the entire plot. And then if you want to sell the plot, to say for the player, we can go with
If you
that.
wanted to sell the plot to me, for example.
So I'll go plot, is it plot sell, and then his name, Gimper, and then the amount, so say I'll sell it for 100. And then here, it will give him an offer, and then he can either accept or decline the plot offer, and then it will, I believe it will take the money if he accepts it, and if it does not, it'll keep my money balance the same. And then I guess going into the rest of the commands.
Alternatively, if you're not going to sell it to another player, you can sell it back to the server, but you will take a price hit on it.
So here I'll go plot sell, and then you see I spent 2,000 buying it, and if I just go plot sell, I spend I get 1,800 back, so I lost $200 in the purchase.
Right, and you will always get
price,
yes. So if you bought a plot in a new area for 3,000, you're still only going to get 1,800 back.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then, I guess going into the rest of the commands, we're going to head over to this plot here. As you can see, I have torches on and stuff like that. So it's a base plot that I have recently bought. So we can do the rest of the commands.
Yes. Now the torches are just a handy little indicator to show you where the plot boundaries are. However, sometimes when you bought a bunch of plots, you want to get rid of those, and so we add a command to do that. You can just punch them out yourself, but there's a command that will turn them off or on if you want to see the chunk borders.
So here, if you
it's also handy because with these ones, you see, it's a good example. These are being placed in water, so it places a piece of cobblestone for you, and then the torch on top of it. But if you owned a bunch of plots out underneath, like a river or something, these would be very annoying, and then you gotta swim out, and you gotta break each one. But you can use the command with an extra variable.
So right here, I will show you the command. So here, you want to go /plot torch, and then if you want it on, you'll say on, or if you want it off, you'll go off. And then as you can see, the plot torches were removed. This is a border of another plot, so I'll do it here also. Torch off, and you see these torches have now disappeared, and it's back to normal water.
Yep.
And then going into the rest of the commands, we have
probably
a lot.
turn them back on for the rest of the video.
All right,
so that
So here I'll turn it on. There's that, and I'll turn this one back on also for the rest of the video. You see there, we have the plot boundaries back on now.
Now, another feature, you'll notice when you walk into a plot that it displays the owner of the plot. That only happens if the owner is different from the previous plot you were in, so it doesn't constantly spam your own name when you're walking around your own plots. There's also a command called Message of the Day, or MOTD, where you can assign a custom message to a plot that people will see when they walk into it.
This one you're going to have to help me out a little bit on, because I don't set MOTDs very often. But
okay,
this is true.
It's /plot MOTD, and then just a message afterwards. Any message you want. I'm pretty sure profanity will be filtered out, or it'll tell you it can't.
There we go. Okay, so if we walk on this plot, you will see the MOTD. If I believe I go on to unowned, and then onto this plot here, what would be? How does the MOTD show again?
It would just pop up. Did you set it on this plot, or did you do it on?
I set it on the spot here. Or it's
Craig. I think
This
it
plot-
worked because this is unknown suddenly when he set the message of the day.
Craig, why you bork it?
Why, Bork?
Craig,
Why?
why
Oh,
bork?
Craig.
All right, I'll purchase it and then I'll do the MOTD once again. All right, message of the day is on unowned.
Yep.
Okay,
and
it works. Okay, that's good. So as
you
can
can do
see,
plot torch off. I do that because sometimes the plots can disband without the torches going away. So I do that for people. Anyone can run plot
there we
torch
go.
off on an unowned plot.
Alrighty. And so now
So-
we figured out that Craig borked it, and also Craig sucks. Anyways, so that is the MOTD for the MOTD for plot commands, and then what?
Also worth mentioning, a good example of somewhere you could use this would be like at our clan home, where you teleport in onto a plot that would be owned by a player. It could be set as this is, for example, the Kwai Squad's clan home,
Yep.
so that people who are walking by would know that this is the clan.
The clan home
And
for
also-
the Quiet Squad.
Also, just like plot owners, message of the day will only display if it's different from the previous plot. So if you assign it to mini plots in a group, as you walk through them, unless the actual message changes, you won't be notified of it each time. It works the same way.
Yeah. All right. So what's next?
The permissions, I guess, the basic permissions.
Alright, so
every
Craig-
plot has. Yes.
Come by this plot.
Okay. Absolutely.
Before we get into that, while you guys are setting up, it's worth mentioning that plots do gradually increase in price.
They actually are not doing that for some reason.
Yeah, they're
So,
not, because I
alright.
own. Because I own. Let's see. Overall for the clan, I own 26 plots, and they're supposed to start exponentially growing at 20, and I haven't had that happen. So.
I
Alright,
have
so-
45, and they're not either. So, but it seems to not be an issue yet.
Yep.
So I guess we'll address it as we go.
Alrighty. So so starting off here, Craig has his plot owned here. I guess we can start with the main thing: chorus fruit and ender pearls. Some of the buggiest
Yes.
pieces of crap for plot permissions ever.
Well,
This is true.
a lot of times, say you're designing a parkour or something of that nature, you don't want people teleporting around, or perhaps a puzzle, or areas you don't want people to access. You're allowed to turn ender pearls off on your plot. Now they're on by default, but if you turn them off, if someone throws an ender pearl on the plot, they'll just get a message saying ender pearls are disabled, and they will not teleport.
So for instance here, if I throw an ender pearl, it'll teleport here, but if I had to my plots that are older and before he reloaded that code, I didn't have this on, so if I try to throw an ender pearl, it won't allow me to teleport. And same thing with chorus fruit. If I go here, eat the chorus fruit, another teleportation, he actually disabled it, which is interesting. But
It probably tried to teleport you onto a plot that doesn't have the permission.
it probably did. Let's
Yes.
see if I can do it again.
Well, you're not a member of this plot, so you're
Yeah,
not allowed
teleportation
to,
canceled, not a member of the spot. So you can't teleport using chorus fruit on other people's plots, but you can do ender pearls.
Yes.
Oh, never mind.
Well,
Oh,
they have separate permissions.
Yeah, they do.
Chorus fruit has separate permissions from there's a command /plot chorus and then /plot ender. If you just do another command you can do as well, it's handy. If you just do /plot, it will give you basic information about a plot. It will show you the permissions that are on and off on the plot. And on this plot, chorus fruit and ender pearl are enabled. On this, I should be able to. Yeah, I can teleport to this one, but on his plot over there, I'm not allowed to do it. Yeah.
All right. So now I guess we can talk about the water flow. If Gimper makes me a little pool here, we can show you how the water flow works on the server. So here we have Craig's, and here we have mine. My plot. So if I place down water on this plot, it moves over. As you can see on the line from Craig's plot to my plot, the water will not flow. So griefing on that aspect of like torches and stuff will go away, or is nullified.
This also
Same
applies
effect
to
happens with
pistons.
lava.
This also applies to pistons as well. Pistons won't extend over plot borders. They won't push blocks over plot borders, or you can't take sticky pistons and pull blocks back from other people's plots. Now, if an exception to that, if I add Max as a member on this plot, let me do that real quick.
Or if he adds you as a member to his
Of
plot.
my plot, yeah. Actually,
So
yeah,
I've
we
just
should
added
hold
him.
on. Craig, I'm gonna do that on my side so I could show. So this actually talks about another function of the plots. You can allow people to your plot. So if I believe it's plot, allow,
Member.
and then plot member. Yeah, sorry. And then Craig's name. As you can see, now he is a member, and then he can pour water onto the plot to showing that permission. Now it flows all the way
Now
through.
the water flows across.
Yeah.
Now
So,
if
yeah, from his
if the
plot
wa-
to the other one, yeah, and
yeah, it
the other
flows
way.
correctly. Now if if the water flow's been stopped and then you add me as a member later, you have to update the flow. It won't just start flowing on its own. You have
Yeah.
to do a block update on it.
Now,
But yeah, that's I'm allowed to do that now.
so starting off, give my bucket back. Anyways,
You can have it.
so we can go into the next permission, which would be plot allow all. So what it does is it allows players like me, for instance, where I own all of the clan land. It allows us to add people as members to the plot, so they have access to all the chests and everything like that, because we share items in our clan with the major members that want to share items with us. And so what it does, if I go /plot, allow all, and then whoever's name, so Craig, and then we go and enter. Now he has access to all of my plots. He can touch all the things, touch all the butts, push all the buttons, whatever he wants to do, and he has access to everything. Now,
With the exception of one thing, you cannot place and break beacons on a plot. You are not the actual.
actually two things. It's beacons and ender, or the egg, the dragon egg.
I probably did set it that way as well. Yes.
Yeah. So beacons and dragon egg are the only two things that the plot owner has to place down.
Another thing members cannot do. Members cannot run commands on a plot.
Yes.
So the commands we were just talking about, only the plot owner can do that. Members cannot.
Yeah. And then, so, say Craig's being a butt and I don't want him to touch my stuff anymore.
Rude.
Isn't it plot? What is it again?
Remove all.
Yeah, remove all. And then Craig's name. And now he has no more access to all my plots, and he was being too much of a butt, so he's not allowed to touch my stuff anymore.
Worth mentioning.
Are you
that
sure?
This is the exact same functionality. Quit showing off your adminness. This is the exact same functionality as if you went around to all your plots manually, and it's running essentially the exact same command, but it's just doing it all at the same time. It's not a separate type of permission or anything like that.
It's a large
just
scale of
running
the
it
plot
automatically.
member. Plot member function, or plot member command.
And since we're on plot member functions, another one worth covering is plot clear. Plot clear basically takes the plot you're standing on and clears the member list. So any allowed members are not allowed to that plot. It just saves you doing that.
So say I add Gimper to the plot, and I add Craig to the plot. I will show.
To unadd us normally on that one plot, you'd have to do plot member and then our name, and then go back and do plot
That's
member
exactly
the other
what
name.
I did. So now if I just go /plot, you can see the members are Gimper and Craig. You can see it into the chat, and I am the owner. MOTD is Craig Sucks, as you saw earlier. It also shows the coordinates, and it shows members have, like for me, I have full permissions. So now, if I go /plot clear all members were removed from your plots. And now, if I go /plot, you see there are no members besides me because I'm the owner.
That actually did it to all your plots. You want to do plot clear.
Whoops. Well, I have to add everyone now. Oh well.
I was going to get to that command as well. Clear all is just like the allow all and remove all for your plots. It clears all the members from all your plots. If you decide you want to be a stingy butt and keep everybody off all your plots, clear will do it for one plot. Same command, just plot clear.
So I'm going to add Gimper back to my plots, and then I'll add the other clan members later.
I thank you.
Everybody else,
Another one that's worth mentioning at this point, because assuming that you're going to be playing on the server for a while and you're going to have tons of money, because everyone ends up with tons of money and tons of plots, you may want to know where your plots are. So like Jeff was showing a little bit earlier, you can do plot list, and it'll bring up a list of every single one of your plots and their locations so that you can
As you can see right here, I have page
See
1
where
of
your plots
3.
are.
So if I got plot list 2, I believe, it'll show me my second page, and then 3 will show me my third page of plots. And it gives you the coordinates of all the plots, so if you, say, lose a plot, and have no idea where it is, like this one out in 2,752, I know what that is, it's our stronghold plot, but if I didn't know what that was, I can go find it and see exactly what it was.
Yes, and another thing before we get off of the the membership, although technically not membership, we were speaking about the permissions before, plot ender, plot course. There's a command called plot reset, and it's in the same vein as those other commands. If you do plot reset, it will reset your
Permissions
plot,
to default
the
values.
default permissions. Yeah, so the default values when you buy a plot, ender pearls are allowed, course fruit is allowed, set home is allowed, and I believe clans are allowed. So it will reset. You have the ability to turn those on and off, but you can do plot reset if you want to just reset it to factory values, and also reset all will do that for all of your plots as well. Just like
Before we move on, just quickly, the ones that like the plot things that you can toggle from that menu would be PvP on your plot, the chorus fruit, the ender pearls,
Ender
sorry.
Ender pearls.
Being able to set your home on the plot, explosions, including creepers, on the plot, and if your client have access. That's the full set of those toggleable options.
And
those are basically simple.
Yeah, all of them you can access by going /plot help, and it'll give you pretty much everything. Plot PvP, remove all, reset. It'll give you everything, and it will give you all the like how to use them and stuff like that to the messages that Craig has put.
They're all toggle commands. It just takes the value whatever it is and flips it. So, set home is useful if you don't want people to be able to set home on your plots again. So you're building a parkour or something like that, or some sort of puzzle. It prevents people from being able to teleport midway through the puzzle. They have to do that.
It prevents me from doing this.
Yes.
Oh no.
And then we'll go through the commands I just used in another video, but that was just I wouldn't. Oh my. Oh, I got returned to my. God damn it! I got returned to the end grinder. But yeah, that was.
Here we
all
go. We'll get you back here for the video. There we go.
And all the stuff that we just did will be, not them, but what I just did will be covered in another video.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we did not as much.
Nope.
Explosions. If you want to use TNT on your plots to blow things up, you'll have to turn explosions on by default. They're enabled, so creepers won't come in and blow your house up, things like that. But if you want to be able to actually do that, then you can turn those on. It's also worth noting for PvP, if you allow PvP on your plot, there's a 15-second timer from when you enable it, so everyone in the plot gets warned that it's coming on. So you can't just turn it on, murder somebody, and then turn it back off.
Yep.
Okay.
There are also the permissions for the plot, which is a completely separate beast to try and cover with plot perms. I think we should do a separate video on that because it is quite extensive to go through everything that's in there.
I agree.
Plot price, which isn't actually like a permission setting, but price will tell you how much your next plot will cost. Very helpful if we ever get the scaling money to be re-enabled. Or if you're wondering, is this a plot next to one that I already own or not, you can look it up and it'll say this plot will cost you 3,000 versus this plot will cost you 2,000. Just a little nice thing you can do.
But it basically tells you how much without having to buy the plot to find out.
Yeah.
Very handy.
I do.
The plot map, which brings up a little overview of the surrounding area, tells you what direction you're facing, and it gives you a little legend to tell you what the plots around you are. So Jeff, you'd mind running that?
What was it? Sorry.
Plot map.
Plot map. It'll show me all of the plots and has a little list of what I have. So as you can see in front of me, all the pound marks or numbers, hashtag, whatever you want to call it, depending on how old you are, is the ones I own. S is server plot, 0 would be others own, and then X would be where I am.
Yep.
And so you can see everything I own there.
Yep.
So talk about the next thing, and then I'll tell you the one other thing about the plot map that is worth mentioning.
We have pretty much
Other
gone
than-
over everything.
Other than the fact Gimper wrote it, he's
Okay.
we'll put that in there.
If you run the command again, Jeff.
Yep. Want me to go over a little bit?
No.
I'll
you should
go
be able to
right
see the
here.
spot from there.
Alright, that's fine. Plot
Okay.
map, you can see it turned into a circle, I believe. Oh, yeah, there's another circle there. It's a dark circle now. Darko.
It's a dark circle. A dark circle is a plot that someone else owns that you don't have access to. If it's a light
Alright.
circle, it means that you have access on that plot. Or a light X if you're actually standing on the plot. But it makes it easy to see if someone is going to be adding you to a bunch of their plots, but they don't want to do allow all because they have other stuff they want to keep protected. Oh, well, I'm missing on this plot and this plot and this plot. So you're able to go and just easily find them and add them together.
Yes.
So I think that fully goes over what we've done. Or what we need to do.
One
for
more
the-
thing, though.
Oh, okay.
The plot chords on the plot map list, those are not physical chords like what is in the HUD on the side. Those are their actual plot coordinates. So that's 63, probably about 64 plots one way and 4 plots the other. Like that is plots of the server, not the actual physical location that you're at. I just want to make that that clear because otherwise that can be confusing for people.
Alrighty.
And there's one last command that we did not go over. Is plot count. Plot count will show a list of the biggest landowners on the server. The largest landowners will be listed first, and then.
So, for instance, I'm number 3 in this list.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and of course the server doesn't count, but it's still listed. Yep. And it will show, who owns the most land. And
So if you want to be
top
that big real estate agent, you use all your money for plots, and you'll be good. Like Gimper was last map. Anyway, so yep. So that was all the plot commands that you will want to know. And we will see you guys in the next section for all the other permissions and commands that we're going to be running.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Yep. Later.